All right, we are live. What is going on? My name is Kevin Yee, and today is actually very sentimental type of video because this will be the last time I'm actually shooting in this apartment. I'm actually moving into a much smaller apartment. There won't be too many changes in terms of like the setup and stuff like that. I'm probably gonna make it a little more intimate and all that. But RIP this OG setup, man. I've had it for I can't believe it. I've had it for almost like at least 4 years, man. I think I moved into this apartment shortly after um, our house in like Whittier broke up, and then moved here, lived with my friend, and yeah, man, a lot of great. I want to say, well, a lot of great memories, man. There was a lot of growth. I think about where I was 4 years ago, and 4 years ago, I was a pharmacist. I was relatively unhappy with my career. I was doing really well though. I was actually really performing, but I wasn't very happy. And man, like think about how much has happened. This was like the start of my entrepreneur journey in this house. This was also the day that I found out my dad was like about to pass, and the days where I really reconnected with a lot of the relationships in my life, the friendships, personal intimate relationships, all that sort of stuff. There was like falling out of relationships in here. It's just really interesting to see how much a house kind of transforms you and all that as well. So oh, I hear some comments in the background, so I'll read those in a second. But I just want to take some time to just really reflect on that for a little bit. And yeah, man, it's been really really cool. Let's look at the comments. Made first sale. Thoughts on congrats, by the way. By the way, do I still have it? So I always keep my first sales like right here. And like that is I think it's really important to always remember your first sales because it's proof of concept. It's showing you that it is possible. Now, can we just figure out a better way to do it, right? And so yeah, that's like first sales are really, really important. Congratulations if it's your first sale. That's really great. My thoughts about your second question was about eBay dropshipping. And actually, it's really interesting. Recently, I've been getting a lot of questions about how like side gigs and all that sort of stuff. So I actually created a lead magnet this week about or a guide. Just like really helping people find out what a good side hustle is. Because here's the truth. What I realized, like when I was, so the first time I bought courses, and I'll get back to your question, Ruben, I haven't forgotten. But when I first bought courses, it was about 2009. So courses were just starting up. I literally took it like a college course. It was Ramit's, it was one of Ramit's courses. I think it was like Earn 1K or something like that. And I remember my journey about how important that first $1,000 was for me because $1,000 is kind of cool. Like it's not an extraordinarily like fu type of money type of thing, but $1,000 is enough where you can go on a nice vacation, you can go on a nice ball and dinner. It means something to a lot of people. And nowadays, $1,000 with a sale, I'm not saying it doesn't do anything for me, but it's just not as significant as your first time, right? Almost kind of, I guess, like sex, almost like. But yeah, and so I remember how hard it was just trying to find an idea, and not only an idea, a really great idea. So I put together this like 12 questions you should ask yourself before launching it, and been getting a lot of feedback. I'm going to be posting it in the Asian Hustle Network very soon and getting their feedback and seeing what people like about it, what don't they like about it, what are some of the major questions they have after it too. So I think it'll be good to whet people's appetite with entrepreneurship. But my thoughts on eBay dropshipping is really, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of dropshipping in general. Maybe eBay would be a really great platform. See, I'm not a huge e-commerce type of guy. And the concept of dropshipping is really interesting where you basically hold none of the inventory. The manufacturer actually sends it straight to the consumer or customer. And in theory, it makes a lot of sense and it's really good. Now, the problem with dropshipping is like, it always comes down to one thing. I talk to people a lot and they're like, yeah, dropshipping just didn't work out for me. And I ask them, well, what about it didn't work out? And I was like, can I take a guess? They're like, sure. And I'm like, yo, is it the traffic? And they're like, yeah, it's always the traffic, especially if you're doing it on your own site. Now, if it's eBay, I don't know what eBay dropshipping exactly is. I don't know the nuances for it, but something like eBay, like I'm assuming is very similar to like, you post a listing on eBay, and then the manufacturer probably will fulfill the order. If I'm wrong, just let me know as well. So, man, we got so that's kind of like what's going on right now. Hold on for a second. Let's take a look at the other comments. I have Nathan Murray, and he says, what do you do? Well, I do quite a bit. I do everything from like high ticket sales. I used to be a pharmacist. I was jumping into mergers and acquisitions, but that's currently on hold. I do a lot of digital marketing things. I teach people how to invest. But really, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I think what I teach is just like I teach people how to live essentially a rich life and discover like that question of what it means to live a rich life, right? I think that's important. And we are getting spammed. I gotta block some of these comments and shit. Holy fuck. Let's see. How do I go into my YouTube live? Hold on. YouTube live /live. Yeah. But that's kind of like the essence of what I do. And I never claim myself as a guru or anything, but I'm just like really learning the stuff along the way as well. So, oh yeah, and thank you for the likes. Really appreciate it. If you guys could shoot me some likes, that would mean a lot to me. Let me go on here and block. How do I report? Report as spam, unwanted. Yeah, I'm going to report this as spam. Cool. Awesome. Let's see. I can't find my iPhone. Says, oh, let me highlight your comment for a second. Would you consider pharmaceutical sales? Personally, I don't think I could really do pharmaceutical sales. One thing I've kind of learned about myself is that I'm very independent, meaning like I really enjoy having autonomy over my time, autonomy over like control. I wouldn't say I'm a control freak, but when it comes to authority, I tend to kind of actually rebel against authority a lot of time. Like I think about the work I was in. I was surprised I was in corporate for so long, man. It's just so refreshing to be out of it. And here's another important thing about sales. Depending on what kind of pharmaceutical is, and you might not have a choice, but you might have to push something that feels unethical to you, or is not the best product out there. And are you willing to compromise that? For me, no, I have to be in integrity with everything, right? Because that's how I sell. Because I only sell things that I truly believe in, that I believe will give people a good shot at their goals. It might not be the best perfect solution, I guess, but it has to be good enough where it's gonna change their life in some capacity. So I don't think I would ever consider it pharmaceutical sales. It just doesn't fit my rich life, I guess, right? Bob Dole says, do you still keep your pharmacy license up to date? CEs, yearly drug changes, new state policies. I do keep up from time to time. Obviously, since I'm not in the trenches, it doesn't mean as much to me as before, right? I used to be in the trenches all the time. Oh, this new drug came out. This and this came out. I do keep on top of my CEs. It's pretty much the only source of news I get. And plus, when I talk to some of my pharmacy colleagues, they tell me some updates as well. So that's the importance of like networking and stuff, because they will tell you what's happening. But even like people in relatively like specialized roles within pharmacy, they don't even know what's happening outside their world and stuff like that. So I do keep on top of my license. I actually know it's really funny. First of the year, I think I did a lot of my CEs like when we first started this year, because one of the ways I do my CEs is actually through Pharmacist Letter. I really like Pharmacist Letter. Maybe you guys have better suggestions about where to do my CEs and stuff. So, but that's where I've been really doing it, and it's really great. My brother was like, "You should try Pharmacy Times and stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." I get several subscriptions, by the way. I still get subscriptions to Pharmacy Times as well. So I try to keep on top of it because I still get a lot of pharmacy questions, and I still want to stay relevant within the pharmacy world, even though it's not my primary focus, I would say. But it's just really interesting. Um, um, I can't find my iPhone. It says R.I.P. Kobe. Yeah, man, it's really sad actually. I want to show you guys something. Maybe you guys can still hear me, but hold on for a second. Yeah, like it's funny. I actually have these Kobe Bryant socks. It's really funny. If you type in Kobe's last game versus Celtics, I think I might rank on YouTube. But I actually did a vlog back in the day, going to the Lakers game and stuff like that. So it just makes me really appreciate, like, you just never know what might happen to you, your future. It's really important to be very cognizant of your time and stuff on this planet. And honestly, Kobe went out like a champ, bro. Like he ended at the top of his career. Yes, he didn't get to do all these like other things, but it made him very iconic. Like it was it's kind of is really really sad. Don't get me wrong, but you know, Kobe's lived a really great life. Impacted a lot of people and stuff like that. Wow, dude, I swear I have like 10-year-olds or something, like masturbation, sex, woo, big topics. Yeah, whatever. Let's unwanted content and spam. Let's do that. Yeah, well, it's a part. You know what? It's good to have like I'm not. Oh, Sutton. Yeah, I hate. You say you hate the spammers and stuff like that. Let me go through some of these comments and stuff, and I'll address that. Fair enough, Kevin. Thanks for answering the questions. Cheers, bud. I'm rooting for you. Really appreciate you, man. By the way, speaking about appreciation, I would appreciate y'all if you would smash that like button, improve the algorithm for YouTube. Honestly, I haven't been super active with YouTube. I know that I've been really slacking for the most part, but hey. And let's block this user. How do I block this user? I wish there was an easier way to block comments and shit. Hide user on this channel. Let's do that. Cool. So I think his comments are going to be blocked. It's kind of hard doing moderator and hiding people too. So I hid the other comments and shit too. So none of this BS, bro. Let's see. Yeah, but thanks, man. Really appreciate your support. Let's see. Manual eBay dropshipping is when you list an item on eBay, marked up price. When someone orders, you order it and ship it to a person who bought the. Okay, so you're essentially doing all the fulfillment, and that's honestly to me not a very. I mean, if you want to test proof of concept, that's really great. But honestly, I don't. That's not a scalable model if you're doing all the fulfillment as well. But yeah, man, and you're also you're also stuck with. It sounds like based off what you're doing is like you're holding all the inventory too. Whenever you hold inventory, you're at the highest liability because here's the thing, it might not sell. And that's why dropshipping is a really great business model, because it offloads the risks to the seller, to the marketer essentially. What you are doing is charging a marketing fee and stuff. Stetson says, I hate these spammers. Yeah, amen, bro. But it's a good sign for any good channel, because every channel has a lot of spam or haters or bullshit. I mean, it's part of growth, I mean, that's what they always say too. Like, if you want to grow your business, Dan Penny always talks about this. If you want to grow your business, you have to go through litigation. Always. It's a part of doing business. And unless you're willing to step up to the plate and do that, don't do business. So, it's annoying dealing with like spammers and shit, but it's all good, man. I don't get bothered by it. Kevin, I haven't kept up with your YouTube lives for a long time, maybe 1 or 2 years, but I gotta say your oral conversational skills have noticeably improved. Thank you. I've actually been going to Toastmasters recently. And it's not like I've been going for the last 2 years. I've actually been going for the last week or so. I'm missing tomorrow's, which I'm really bummed about, but I'll be right next to our Toastmasters. But I think really doing something like sales, you have to be better at communicating value and whatnot. I still have like little ticks here and there, but I'm always more cognizant of what I'm trying to do as well. And so, yeah, my friends say, even like, and thanks Bob Dole for giving me that compliment as well, because even my friends, they're like, Kevin, you're so much more business like than you were before. And yeah, that is true. I still have a fun side to me, but definitely I'm more business minded for the most part. But I went to a club yesterday and I can still like, dance and stuff, and it's really fun. But I just been a lot more business minded and more focused on my goals. I know my priorities. Back then I was just doing all sorts of different things, and I want to be very intentional with my speech and whatnot as well. Especially if I'm going to run a board, you have to you have to speak a lot. You can't be like, fuck yeah, bullshit, all this. Like, you can tell when you're speaking to a child, right? And especially when I'm doing sales for a lot older people, they feel a lot better knowing that you can articulate your thoughts a lot more intelligently. Holy shit. Block this guy, says Danny N. Thanks, man. Yeah, I kicked them off. Would you recommend being a farm intern at CVS, Walgreens, Kroger, or Walmart? So one of the things that as a farm intern, I would think about, first of all, where do you want to live? Where is a really solid place that you would where's a solid what's a solid business that you want to work at? Which one has the best quality of life, or which one kind of fits your ideal lifestyle? Some people don't want to get married. That's totally cool. And if you just want a workaholic, dude, CVS all the way. They have such market dominance right now. Even though I'm not in the trenches with CVS, I don't know what's going on really with CVS. I mean, that's a really great way to start, but you're going to be working like a dog. That's just the nature of CVS. Kroger, they have a lot of great clinical programs and stuff, so consider that if you want as well. Walmart is also really known for a lot of clinical programs as well, so either one is okay, but I would suggest, actually, if you can, venture outside of just like retail pharmacy. Like, do yourself a favor. Retail pharmacy, it's probably I don't want to say it's the easiest, but it's the easiest entry point for most pharmacists after school, right? You think about it, you don't have to do residency. It's the lowest barrier of entry. So really focusing on outside, like non-traditional paths. That's the word I'm looking for. Non-traditional paths of pharmacy, you should really consider that. You don't hoarder. Oh, Ruben says you don't hold inventory as long as they order. Job Pastor says, what up, bro? Awesome. Hey, what's up, Job? You can use the same suppliers as regular drop shipping. Oh, that's really great. So really, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, same thing as regular drop shipping, but you have like, eBay is just a traffic source. That's awesome, man. Dude, I never considered it, but for me, I don't really like eBay that much. I don't use it that much, but could be really powerful, man. I'm pretty sure people are making money. And here's something you guys, I'm not sure if any of you guys realize that. If we have any seasoned business vets, please comment as well. Just let me know what kind of business you're in and all that. But, I mean, just because you can make money or something doesn't mean you should do it. And I think really you got to find a business model that suits your strengths. For me, I really love connecting with people. That's a real big strength of mine. So doing things like mergers and acquisitions when it comes to that, maybe not the due diligence part, but finding a board that really suits my strong strengths, right? Also doing something like sales as well, that suits my strengths. Consulting, things like that, those are some really, those suit my strengths. But there's people, like, take your really intelligent, like, computer nerd, maybe they're not really great at communicating, articulating value or anything like that, so they might be better with due diligence and other sort of technical skills, right? So everybody has their strengths and stuff, but it doesn't mean that Yeah, I think it's probably a legit business model. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are teaching it. Pretty sure now that I'm talking about it, my phone is listening, and I'm going to get targeted for ads very soon. So, R.I.P. to Kobe. Taste and travel, Kobe. Yeah, man. Maybe for the rest of the stream, I'll just like leave these Kobe socks like right here, man, and just like that. I mean, I am a like I am from Boston, so I have to rep the Celtics and stuff. But for the rest of the stream, I'll have this Kobe socks in the stream as well. By the way, I'm drinking like some Tulsi ginger tea by Reishi. I'm actually trying to finish all my teas before I move to the new apartment. I'm literally trying to eat everything, finish everything in my apartment before I go. So yeah. Oh shit. Oh man, I spilled it. Clumsy, man. Taste and Travel says Kobe, R.I.P. Kobe and his daughter. It's really sad, man. Like I feel so. So Kobe's one thing, right? But his daughter, I think his daughter was only 13, man. She was so young. I'm like, damn, dude, that's great. That sucks, man. But yeah. Wow, more trolls. Okay, cool. How do you maintain a social life while on that hustle mentality? It's difficult sometimes, honestly. And by the way, for those 17 people or 13 people who haven't, make sure to like this video. Would really appreciate the love, mother people. How do I balance that social life? It's really tough. I still do dinner. I mean, at the end of the day, you always gotta eat. So typically, I'll try to meet one person like a week or something, or have some sort of cadence where I can just go out and just kick it, relax. Recently, it's been overdrive for me. I haven't really been focusing on social life as much, but I do my best to connect via online. I do things like, if you ever like meet me, I always do video calls. I love doing video calls because it's very real. Like you still get a very real experience without traveling somewhere to meet someone. And then when you do meet someone, it's very normal and stuff like that. I've been using that a lot. But that's kind of like what I've been doing. And here's the thing. You don't need 10 billion friends. Like I love meeting people, but at the end of the day, you don't need 10 billion friends. You need a solid few that really represent your life stage, that are supportive. They might not even have to be doing the same things. I have plenty of 9-to-5ers in my life as well, who are just really supportive of what I do. They live vicariously through me and stuff. And so it's just like any other relationship. You make effort. For me, people say I'm very natural at it. Sometimes it really depends. It really depends on the environment too. Like I'll tell you this, at the club I'll be the most awkward motherfucker because I feel like it's like one of the most awkward moments. But back in the day, I used to meet all my friends at the club and shit, and we used to go out all the freaking time. So it was it's just really, really interesting, man, to see like how how that's changed and stuff over time. So but it's really prioritizing your time, knowing what you're doing. Like one of the things I try to do is write down what I'm doing every single hour of the day, just so that I can tell, hey, Kevin, you're going through like a lazy slump or an unproductive slump. Right now, I'm actually going through an unproductive slump, just for full transparency. I'm going through an unproductive slump right now. Sales-wise, I'm doing pretty well, but there's a lot of my life. I just feel like there's so many moving parts in my life where lack of clarity. I'm sure I'm going to get yelled at by Dan Pena later. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, man, it is tough. Is Fred Lamb cringe marketing low-key a genius strategy? Could be a pattern interrupt, but honestly, like the typical things where, oh, I have a Lambo in the back of my thing, is getting overplayed. That's an interesting thing about marketing. There's trends, right? So think about it like this. What was popular before? Like, okay, so sometimes marketing seems like it's like the new hype, right? Like you'll see old school stuff doing really, really well. You'll see new school, and then you'll see a fade out. And then you'll see this new resurgence that was a real big trend back in the day. So the thing is like with marketing, you have to catch it right on the S curve, right? So right before, you don't want to be the first one to come out with a well, you can't be the first one to come out with an idea, but you risk a lot. You risk like spending time on an idea that might not work. So what you want to do is find someone who's really popular, who's starting to S-curve it up, take their idea, model after it. I'm not saying copy it, but model after it, and then catch the ride. And then eventually, when you're like Fred Lam and it's a little too late, I'm not saying it won't work, but it won't be as effective because it's such a pattern interrupt when it comes to marketing and whatnot. And this is just my thought as well, right? I'm not a real big like Fred Lam fan. I don't watch any of his content. I can't really say. I never wanted to. I'm definitely not the target market for him too, as well. But you gotta be careful with a lot of these like internet marketing people, man. A lot of them will. I'm not saying a lot of them will like lie to you. There are liars in every single market. There's scammers in every single market. But does that make the whole entire market bad? No, because it can be very life-changing as well. So those are just my thoughts. Danny says, I'm considering getting a master in health info and informatics to go into informatics like Brian Fung. But there's not too research on too much to research on farm informatics. That's awesome, man. I'm not sure, like, dude, Brian is really, I've been telling Brian this, and you can tell him on his channel too, next stream he has or anything like that, let him know that, like, dude, he like, he's doing the right play right now. If I was Brian Fung, I would really double down on pharmacy informatics. It is such a small niche, but you can easily dominate that. There's no way in hell I have the specialty to really talk about informatics at a deep level. I can understand at a very high level, right? But he's actually in the weeds. He knows all about like Willow and all the like certifications. And I just don't know that stuff. And so Brian is a really great person to follow. I'm glad that you're following Brian, by the way. But that's awesome, Danny. I would love to kind of hear what kind of caught your eye about that. What made you interested about doing something like informatics, right? It's very interesting. I think, like, I'm not going to lie. I think after I started talking to Brian and started talking about informatics on my channel, there's a lot more resurgence of informatics as well, right? So it's just really interesting. Bob Dole says, wait, are you moving out of your K-Town apartment? Affirmative, man. I'm actually leaving later this week, and it's kind of sad, man. I love living in K-Town. It's one of my favorite places that I've lived in, but I've also kind of not got burnt out from it, but living in K-Town, some of the disadvantages is that literally you got valet everywhere. I've had my valet key, I had my spare keys broken in the past by these valet companies, right? You just don't know what they're doing with your car and shit. And also, it's just like a hassle everywhere. Like I'm literally doing tandem parking, so we literally gotta move our cars, move it everywhere. And sometimes, like, when I'm in a rush, I just want something easy, so I want to go down the street. My new apartment is gonna be like 7 minutes away from Costco. It'll be 7 minutes away from In-N-Out. It'll be close to all the places I normally have to hit up during the normal day to day. And if I ever need to go into the city, it's like only about 15-20 minutes, so it's not that bad. The only pain in the ass thing is really going jiu-jitsu. That's pretty much it. That's the only time I would really have to drive. But in general, like, I think I'd be pretty solid with everything, right? As well. So pretty excited to kind of live that next life of my thing. But I told all my friends this. I'm gonna go back to K-Town. I'm gonna have one of those like luxury ass apartments and overlook the city every single morning. So that is really one of my goals, actually, by the end of the year. And there's a revenue goal that I want to hit before I do something like that. And people are like, oh, should you buy a house instead? And to me, I think a lot of people, I'm not going to lie, man. I talk to a lot of people who want to buy houses. And sometimes the numbers don't always, numbers are first thing, right? Numbers don't always work out. But second thing, like, let's say the numbers do, like, let's take that, let's say that works out. Does it really fit my lifestyle? Does it really fit the life that I want to live? I think that's something really important. Just because you can do something, or just because something is profitable, doesn't mean you should always do it, right? Because there's a sacrifice. There's a pro and con for everything. When you buy a house and you choose to live in it, you're stuck in that area for a long ass time, right? Your money is illiquid for for that time, and that's what, like, I'm not an expert on houses too. Like, keep in mind, I'm not a real estate expert or anything like that. And but those are just my thoughts as well. It just doesn't fit my lifestyle at this point, and I just don't want the responsibility. Like, for example, when my parents' house flooded, fuck, they had to deal with this and that. We lost a bunch of shit too, and it sucked. But it was a lot of headache. And I can't imagine what people go through when they go through some typical hardships as well. So, yeah. Which general area am I going to? I'm going to SGV, Dr. Lee. So I'm going to SGV near the Monterey Park, Alhambra, Rosemead, that area. I just gave like a huge area, but actually it's not too far from like the Whittier area and stuff like that. So it's gonna be really interesting being back in that area, because I've left it for so long, and it's just really nice to just get a change of scenery. So planning to go back out there. One thing that I am bummed about is that there won't be fire coffee anymore, man. Like I used to go to Alchemist Coffee Project in K-Town. I love that place because the ambiance is really nice. I used to get work done. I used to go Line Hotel. Like, okay, so when I first moved into K-Town, I used to go to Line Hotel, go out and party and stuff all the time. But now I go there just to work, actually, because they got really great outlets, like lots of space. You're not confined to the small space in a coffee shop. And plus, like, I meet cool people there all the time. Well, recently, not so much. I haven't been talking to too many strangers outside of the thing. I'm really focused on working rather than chit-chatting a lot of times. So, yeah. So those are some things I'll miss. I'll miss like being 10 minutes away from my jiu-jitsu gym too, but I definitely won't miss the traffic. I mean, I definitely won't miss the car accidents. Like, dude, there's like freaking car accidents. There's street cleaning all the time. You gotta worry about getting your car towed or tandem parking and all this sort of stuff. But I'm not complaining. I loved it here. Like, dude, this was my life. It was so close to, it wasn't close to work, but back in the day, it would be like, I think I would be 5 miles away from work, and it would take me 30 minutes to go there. That's how bad LA traffic is, by the way, FYI. Danny says, you should be a guest on Bart and Gio's Bea podcast or David and Joe's Genius Brain podcast. That would be really cool, man. You know what you should do? Leave comments on the thing and all that. I do talk to Joe from time to time, but it's definitely different because we don't we haven't really done any like content work together, but we do talk about like behind the scenes, like different business operations and different things that we're learning. I'm telling you this, man, like, if you guys don't know Joe, like, you might see Joe, like, on JK and stuff. He's really goofy and seems like he has ADD all the time. But in real life, he's a really, really, I think you guys see it on Genius Brain, but he's super, super intelligent, super articulate. He's just a really genuine, kind guy, man. Like, about 2 weeks ago, Brandon, Julia, Michael, Joe, all of us, we just went out and we just chilled. It was really nice, and he organized that thing. He just was like, hey, Kevin, you want to come out? I'm like, yeah, why not? I haven't kicked it with all y'all kind of coming back from Dan Pena's castle, and let's just connect like old times. So it was really, really great. But as far as doing a podcast with Bart or Gio or someone, I think, like, honestly, if I were to do a podcast with anyone, I would love to do it with Angela again. That would be really, really fun to do something like that. But it's a little difficult, especially on the YouTube platform. It's a lot more difficult to do podcasts because I'm thinking, oh, how do I rank this video? How do I, there's so many things. And one of the things I want to get away from is doing the operations of a YouTube channel. I want to hire everything out. So here are my thoughts about my YouTube channel recently, and I'll get back to questions in a second. And by the way, smash that like button. Would appreciate it, y'all. But one of the things I've been really considering is doing a lot less, right? So focusing on doing a lot less videos, more impactful videos, and hiring an editor to kind of do all the edits. Not to say I can't do all the edits. I definitely can. if I spend the time to edit, like I think I can create some, not like Casey Neistat type of cool transitions. That's not me, man. I can't do that. But in general, like it takes me a lot of time to make videos a lot better, and if I can hire that out, I'd be super super happy, and have a clear direction for my channel as well. Like I one of the channels I actually really look up to is actually, oh shoot, sorry Kobe. One of the channels I really look up to is actually Matt D'Avella. He has a really cool channel. I like Joe Rogan's personality, but I wouldn't say I'm in love with his YouTube channel, but I love his podcast. They're really great. Who else? There are a few other people as well that I really look up to their YouTube channels. I also like London Real a lot, but not so much his. I like to enjoy his guests actually, but he's a really interesting guy. And those are, I don't watch too many YouTube channels anymore, to be honest with you. So but great suggestion, man. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Eddie Fu says, I thought you like Asian baby dolls. It's ABG, Asian baby girls, by the way. You're going to change your taste, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, thoughts about Kobe Bryant. Just heard the thought that he passed. It's really crazy because Kobe Bryant has been, I don't want to say been part of my life. I've only seen him once at a basketball game, like live at a basketball game. But in general, he's been part of my childhood for a while. I'm not a Lakers fan. I'm not really a huge basketball fan. I'm not even I'm not even a real big basketball fan. But I guess his presence through the media and stuff, all the Dave Chappelle jokes and allegations and whatnot, like it's just like one of those people that has been throughout your life for a long time, and you're getting a lot older knowing that people are passing, even though he passed really really young. I remember the thoughts of him the thought of him like retiring was crazy, but the thought that he is no longer with us on this planet, man, it really blows my mind, man. It is really really crazy. And I think it's sad for his daughter who passed. But I also think, it really teaches you that, don't wait on time to live a life of greatness. He literally played it as all. He has this really great quote. I'll look it up some other time, but something about like giving it your all. He has a really really great quote about that from what I remember. Was it Kobe? I can't remember. But basically, I think he really demonstrated what it was like, high performance, and everybody references him, and he's definitely like a very big cultural icon as well. So those are just kind of like my thoughts. I'm not like torn up about Kobe being gone or anything like that. But I do like, it is a lesson on like how short life is, man, or how nothing in life is permanent as much as you think it will. There's nothing in life that's permanent, right? So even this like YouTube channel, one day, I don't know, we're gonna have a solar flare, we'll lose all these videos, and there's nothing part of it. But just shows you to be I don't want to say not so attached to things, but just realize there's a beginning and end to everything, like just like the Lion King. So that's the knowledge drop for today. Was college worth it? That's a very broad question, but I'll tell you what was worth college, like that I would do over and over again. The amount of really kind people I met during my college journey, not the actual, I mean, yes, I had really great professors and stuff like through my college days, but really those experiences, just like going through hell with my friends and meeting different people and being acquainted to people, going to parties all the time and just meeting more people. I think that was the best part of college for me. Keep in mind, I never drank, I never did drugs, I didn't do any of that shit. But I would always go out, and that was just so much fun all the time. We used to go clubbing all the time and stuff like that. And nowadays people my age, they don't really go clubbing because they're getting kind of old. Well, some of my friends are, but I think that was the most worth it part. Now, was the career at the end of the path really worth it for me? I don't think so. That's not what was worth it for college. And honestly, could I have done the same thing without college? Absolutely. But if you're asking me about me and my life, that was what was worth it. I met some of my best friends through college, right? But not to say you can't meet your best friends somewhere else. Life takes you on a certain journey, and you make decisions. And really, if I were to go back in time and ask myself, like, okay, what is a lifestyle that I want? Maybe it's not the end all be all, but at this moment, what do I want? What kind of lifestyle do I want? And it's kind of hard to decide at like 18, because here's the thing: you've been in school all this time, you don't know jack shit. You haven't been exposed to the real world. You're not really forced to talk to people in the outside world. So it's hard to make that commitment. How are you supposed to know? And that's why things like dating and all that sort of stuff, like when it comes to relationships, same concept. You don't marry the first girl you see. Well, sometimes you can, but you typically on a first interaction, you're just like, hey, do you want to get married? No, it doesn't work like that. You have to test the market, just like business, relationships. Same goes with like life experiences, man. Just throw yourself in the fire. And I think that's one thing that I've been very fortunate. Had really great friends throughout my whole life, and just had so many different people run across the path, right? So all that. Do you think it's lucrative to be a dentist in LA, or is it too saturated? Well, I don't know the absolute answer to this question, and rather than pull out the typical Bureau of Labor statistics for dentists, I'll give you anecdotal like type of things, or things I see throughout my friends. All my friends who are dentists are doing really, really well right now. I just had one who moved back from. She had some sort of specialization or something like that. She's really killing it, but she's really, really happy at her job right now. And I actually, it's really funny. We went to dinner with all her dentist friends, and they're living a really great lifestyle that they're happy with. Some people just enjoy that, and yeah, I think it could be very lucrative. But depends what you want at the end of the tunnel, man. Really important. How is the atmosphere in LA? In terms of like after Kobe passed, or is it kind of like the general vibe of LA? See, the general vibe of LA, it's very interesting. You meet so many different sort of personalities. Like if you go to Hollywood, like dude, that like bougie like ditzy girl life is like very real. You'll meet tons of vegans who do yoga. Like it's like really cookie. I'm telling you, it's really cookie cutter, right? You meet like, oh, these girls who do yoga, really fit. They go to Equinox. They love eating at these new trendy salad places, and they also what else? They probably have a dog, right? Like, it's so funny because there's so many people. I hate to clump people up together, but it is very, very true. It's very, very. It's really true, man. Like, it's so funny. Same like goes with each and every area, but I think that's one thing I've actually been really good about is like not falling into one sort of area, because I do have some hipster tendencies. Like, I love coffee shops. I love going to bougie coffee shops. That's one of my favorite things. But I also like doing things like yoga and jujitsu as well. And there's so many other things that I just enjoy as well. Like, and I think that's part of building like your personality, right? Being able to throw yourself into different environments and just like enjoy things as well. So, yeah. So I like the atmosphere in LA. Like it can be very varied. Like if I want to go on a hike, I can go to like, well, right now I can go to Runyon really quickly, like to Hollywood, or I can go, or if I want somewhere more, I guess city-like, I can go downtown LA, go to the Intercontinental, go on the top floor, overlook the city. If I want like, I don't know, dirty, like, I don't know. LA is just really, really interesting because you can get a lot of variety in a short amount of places. So that's my take on LA. Same. I don't even watch basketball, but I'm shocked, says AZ. Yeah, that is true. Cool. So we are at the end of questions, and we're at 44 minutes, man. This is always the longest 33 minutes as well. But I'll leave this final time in this final apartment for any final questions as well. Um, and otherwise, we'll probably take off pretty soon because I gotta get packing and stuff. And oh, you know what I'll do? Maybe I'll do a nice tour room and shit too. Before we head off. Do you think it's a good idea to make a presentation about 2019 coronavirus for a 15-minute residency if interview? RIP Kobe. I think it'd be very interesting, but obviously I'm not the person that you should be asking, Z. I've never done residency, and I think that's important, but I think it'd be very interesting, and it will show you that, hey, you can do research in a quick amount of time. And also, here's the thing, there's not a lot of data on it, so it might be really hard to do something like that as well, but it shows that you keep on top of current events, that you can find data relatively quickly, because this is not something that you've been preparing for years and years and years. It's relatively new, all that as well. So yeah. Where are you packing? Where are you going? Where am I going? I'm going into SGV. So San Gabriel Valley area, where all the Asians or my people are at. Gonna be a different change of pace, really slow, a lot slower, kind of like what my old apartment was like. And back in the day, I wanted something busy. I used to go all the time to K-Town all the time, and it would just like make my day. But now, after living in K-Town, I've kind of not gotten that out of me. I honestly have been to all the restaurants in this area. Pretty ZK8 says thank you, appreciate you, man, really appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys hitting the like button. Oh, AZ says you're moving. Hell yeah. Okay, cool. So why don't I give you a tour of kind of like what's left in my room. And obviously keep in mind it's relatively messy. Let me see if I have any sort of really bad things anywhere, like personal information. I don't think I do. I think all that is there. And let's give you a tour, guys, of my room. So hold on. This is impromptu, by the way. So why don't we do this vlog style? So we are going to do my best to walk around the room. Oh shit. Fuck. What happened? Oh no, my freaking camera died. Holy shit. Hold on. Let me fix it. Oh man, this is what happens when you try new stuff, guys. You just like mess up, but not the end of the world. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Cool. So this is my room. Usually I took some things down, but I have a really great mirror in my room. You can like use it as a whiteboard. I have my Ikigai up here. I used to have my core values, but I just actually threw it in a recycle. I have the macros that I want to hit every single month. This right over here was my bookcase. So obviously it's empty because I'm moving. I do have a few books because I use them for reference and all that as well. And obviously you see this part of the crib all the time. But if you go over here, that's where I used to have a editing station over there. It's obviously gone. I have a monitor and all that as well. Had a whiteboard where I put all my ideas. So this is kind of like all my fucking crazy ideas, man. I haven't written on this ghetto ass whiteboard for a long time, but that's where I used to write my ideas. I actually want to get one of those rolly type of whiteboards as well, so it'd be kind of cool. So if you can't tell, I have a microphone stand right here. I also have SM7 right over here. I have the SM7B. I have my DX Racer chair. I have my other SM7B. I have my other lamps that you used to see at the old crib all the time, but I'm actually in the middle selling them, which is really interesting. And I also, right over here, I have a bed. It looks like I have a dead body. I actually ripped out all the sheets because I'm actually in the middle selling my bed, and I'm going to be sleeping on the floor again on my tatami mat, keeping it refugee style and whatnot. So yeah, that is kind of like my apartment from my room. I used to have like a lot of pictures too. Like if you go right, hold on, let me switch the screen. Oh fuck. So right up here, I keep pictures. A lot of them fell down actually. So that is kind of like my life. I definitely, hold on, let me put this back on the tripod really quick. Bear with me for a second. Come on. Fuck. This is impromptu shit. There we go. Cool. So hopefully it's not too shaky now, but just thought I would kind of show you guys like the setup and stuff about with my room and stuff. I actually have a full YouTube like breakdown of my setup. I have an article, but I gotta really do a video and stuff. I'll do it at the new apartment, so you might see some more videos like with this as well. I'm planning videos, edit some of my older videos as well to make really killer content out of that. But yeah, this is it, man. This is really sad. It's gonna be the end of an era, but good things always come with change. Like you can't stay in the one place for the rest of your life, and I think that's one thing that moving has really taught me. Like looking back at every single place I moved, like I've moved since 2013. I moved to 1, 2, 3. This is my third place. I'll be moving to one more place and I'm probably gonna stay there for a while until like I'm gonna be reinvesting back into my businesses and stuff like that, and so just make a shit ton of money and upgrade into nicer luxury apartment and stuff. And I just it's tough because I want to be investing into this concept of digital assets, right? If you don't know what a digital asset is, think about it as like a house, but it's a digital house. Like, so every single YouTube video I make is like considered a digital asset. And I want to make better and better digital assets where they're going to rank forever. Like my pharmacy videos, right? They just bring me consistent money every single month. But not only creating digital assets, but different type of assets too. So that's a really cool concept that I would consider, like if you're watching this and you're thinking about starting, really suggest that you do it. And I also want to help people figure out how to create side hustles. I mean, like I said, not everybody wants to quit their job. Some people really love their jobs. If you're a pharmacist and you love your job, you're one of the rare minority. But, I think everybody should learn how to create their own side hustle or start their own business. It doesn't have to be like super, super fancy. But that's one thing I am actually focused on because I actually got this really this setup is classic, says Setson. I get a lot of compliments on my setup actually. When people used to come in for guests and stuff like that, they really love my setup. And at the end of the day, it's really nothing special. I just designate this certain area, just focused on content creation. So I'm gonna miss it. I'll be honest, I probably won't do the posters anymore. I'm probably gonna put them in my apartment somewhere, but I probably will have a very minimalist type of setup, and I'm probably gonna get it like a standing desk like I do right now. I'm trying to get rid of my other glass desk over there, but yeah. But like I said, I wanted to kind of show you this email. I can't screen share it, but I can read it out to you, and I think it's really interesting about when this kind of like, and I literally got this the other day. Holy shit. We got a Zoom meeting with Dan Pena. Okay, I gotta make sure I book that. Hold on for a second. Oh my god. Let's see. I got this. Yeah, so I got this really good email. And so for y'all that don't know, and if you haven't signed up for my email list, I try to keep it very personal. I know these last 2 weeks or last month I've been horrible at keeping on top of sending updates, but I'm going to be focusing that on my email list and my funnel a lot more. But I got this message from this guy. Let's call him Ben, okay? So Ben says, Thanks again for sending me that information about finding a client. I also got all 4 books you recommended. I've only read one so far, and it was The Wolf on Wall Street. You weren't kidding when you said it was a great book, Lowell. I really found it interesting. I'm going to integrate that into my sales pitches and marketing and work on everything it talked about. I did not get the digital marketing course because I already purchased one prior to speaking with you. However, I did go to Upwork and put in one proposal, and I got a bite. I got a client. I'm consulting for blah 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 blah. I find interesting because I'm starting an Amazon FBA account, but I don't have the cash flow. And now with my new client, maybe I can work my way there. I just want to say thank you for everything we talked about. It was really a huge help. I hope the party that I interrupted with went well. By the way, I was at a holiday party. I was at a Christmas holiday party. I took this call. So it just shows like I just really care about the people who really reach out to me, man. So if you haven't made a video about the kind of things that you've taught me, then I would talked to me about, then I would ask you because that information helped a lot. So again, you were such a great help, and if you ever need anything, please do not hesitate to ask. And so like this is the type of stuff that I want to do. Like I get thank you emails all the time because I try to take the time to really I take the time to care about people, man, and I take the time to add value to people. So that's one of my biggest goals. But anyways, classic setup is over. Maybe I'll do one more before everything is out. But that's pretty much it. Really appreciate y'all who are joining me in 2020. Any content ideas, tips, anything like that, you can email me at Refugee Hustle. And by the way, check this ish out, bro. Like, check it out. So if you go to www.refugee, and this is why I've been actually kind of MIA, because I've just been having so much fun. I hope I haven't looked at it for like a little minute, but hold on for a second. If we go to the Refugee Hustle, oh man, it's kind of fucked up, but shoot, I gotta redo the. Oh no, it's perfect. Yeah, the refugeehustle.com. I've been doing this website actually, and I've been building it from scratch. And using a Divi theme, which is really cool. There's a lot of articles where you can see all the top articles, and there's some things I gotta fix here too. But yeah, it's really cool to see all the articles I've done, top pages and stuff like that. And yeah, man, like I think for someone who fucking sucks at edit, I gotta redo this by the way. But for someone who's not very good at web design and all that sort of stuff, like I'm pretty proud of myself, man. So just want to share that with y'all. Awesome, y'all. I will talk to you later. Have a great rest of your day. Take care and peace.